Alright, welcome back to another video. Obviously we released the junior team or the development squad 2 videos ago. I've got all of the paperwork down here with all the CVs. I thought like maximum I might get like 15 CVs. There's like over 30 of them that I need to go through in here. I've pretty much got the 2 riders for the under 19 and the 2 riders for the under 17 sorted. There's like a few more that keep coming in, but this video, as of tonight when this video goes out, that's going to be the end of it. If you send your CV in tonight when this video comes out, I might still consider it, but other than that I'm going to cut the things off there. There's just so many CVs to go through. As you can see, the bikes in the shed have slowly whittled down. Lots of the Pinarellos, I think 4 of them are currently at the bike shop at the moment getting like a complete rebuild, new cables and everything. And then these ones, we'll swap those ones when they're all done. We have our second to last club race tonight because it is Tuesday, so I've got the Cannondale pretty much all ready for that. I'll bring the GoPro along with us today. Last week we had a handicap race and we just got absolutely nowhere near the front of the race, so we're just going to have to push a lot harder. I'm going to try and get the boys in A grade to actually like warm up a little bit, and we're going to push a little bit harder for the first half of the race, and hopefully we can actually catch the front. The title and the thumbnail of this video, we are going to unbox this box right here. Right, so when we went and picked up all the Pinarellos for the development squad, I had to get myself something while I was up there, so there's like a few different bikes and options. I ended up picking up this frame set. It's probably worth upwards of like probably $10,000 for the frame set. Like it's super expensive. Like even what we paid for it was just absolutely crazy. Yeah, without further ado, this is the new bike to the collection. It is a Cipollini Speed track frame set for like obviously like the velodrome and stuff. Full carbon. It is absolutely beautiful. It's got like ceramic bearings in the headset and in the bottom bracket. It's probably like the nicest frame I've ever touched in my life. It's obviously a track frame, so it's not like ridiculously light. But like all the lines on it are just absolutely beautiful. It's such a sick bike. So for those of you that know me from like a long way back, I haven't actually ridden the track for like probably upwards of 5 years now, but I'm pretty keen to get back into it. They've just redone the Wellington Velodrome. I'll put some photos up. I rode around it a couple of weeks ago on my TT bike when I was in Wellington, and like it just reminded me how much I do enjoy it. And like the only kind of like good thing I am at cycling is kind of like sprinting and like on the flat, so it's kind of suits me a lot better than, you know, mountain goating up some climbs and stuff. So I thought when I saw this frame and it was like kind of part of the deal with all these Pinarellos, I thought that this would be an absolute sick addition to the garage and the shed. So this is now bike number 6 or 7, I cannot remember, it's just too many to remember. But yeah, now we've got the financial problem of the fact that we just spent like almost 10 grand on a frame, and then you can't really like fit this beautiful bike here with alloys. It kind of has to have like a track disc and like a deep dish on the front. George Jackson told me to chuck the 75, I can't remember what that is, chuck the 75 on the front for now and just get a disc on the back. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and find like a Mavic or like a zip disc. It's meant to have like a rotor crank in it, so I'll get that. I'll just chuck one of my TT saddles on here for now. My new road bike should be here by the end of the week, so I'm going to put the zip sprint stem that I've got on the Cannondale there onto here, and then just some more track bars on there. I'm hoping that I should be able to get this thing built before I head overseas and actually take it down to the Wellington Velodrome and give it a black, but just look at it, it's so beautiful. Alright, on the way to the club race. It's like the first cold race of it. I've got long sleeve on, and I've also got leg warmers on. It's just absolutely freezing. It is currently 15 degrees, but it's like the wind chill factor is real cold. So just gonna meet the boys at the shop and then we're gonna head out. Right, so yesterday's club race actually went pretty well. I'll do a little bit of a breakdown. My power, I set a new 20-minute and a 10-minute power record for like, since I started training on my new program. Not sure if they're higher than I did like 2 or 3 years ago when I was racing, but they're the highest I've done like the last 12 months. So yesterday's race was a handicap out and back race. I think it ended up being, it was a 40-minute, it ended up being 40 minutes worth of racing. I think it was about 28k or something like that. I'll grab out the stats on my Strava. If you don't follow me on Strava, link to that is always in the description of these videos. We're almost at 2,000 followers on Strava. So if you have a Strava and you want to follow me and catch up with all my training, definitely go and follow me down below. So the race was 27.5 kilometers. I averaged 303 watts, normalized 330 watts for the 40 minutes. My average heart rate was 187 beats per minute, which is good because last week I had a really bad week of training, ended up taking the whole weekend off. Like, we did the club race on Tuesday and my heart rate was just, I was barely doing like 250 watts and my heart rate was like jumping up with like 190 beats per minute. So I ended up taking the weekend off because I just felt absolutely terrible. Came back and then my power's up and my heart rate's down, so like you can't complain about that. But yeah, I did 334 watts for 10 and 325 watts for 20. So, you know, pretty happy with that on that type of course. There was 8 of us to begin with at the start of the race, and then I'm not sure, like, it was a really cold riding out. Like, I had full leg warmers on and everything. It was like not a very warm race. One of the coldest races we've had so far because we're kind of heading into like that winter period here in New Zealand as the rest of the world kind of goes into summer. And because it was so cold, all of the A graders kind of just like sat around because I think we had a 15-minute handicap on the first guys that went off. And we just kind of just sat around and no warm up. And then what I take from it is that some of the guys just weren't warmed up enough because I pulled, I think it was my 3rd lap on the front. I did about, it was probably about a minute turn at 450 watts, and then I kind of like pulled back to come off and they were just all gone. I was like, oh well, you know, I kind of done the maths in my head about how fast we're going to have to get to catch that 15-minute gap over only like 27k. And I was like, no, we need to keep going. Like, we need to be doing at least 450 for our laps on the front, and we're not even going to get close. Coming on the way back, about, I don't know, last 6 kilometers on the way back, we started like picking up people. This always happens on this course, and then it ends up being like 2-3 of us actually rolling on the front, and then there's just like 10 guys behind. And then the young gun, Caleb, he's only 15, he rolled with me pretty much the whole way. His turns were fairly good, like he'd do at least 30 seconds on the front every time he came to the front. I'd try to do at least a minute to a minute and a half just to try and like hold the power as long as we possibly could so we could try and catch the front. That's why my power was pretty good last night, because I just kind of did really quite long sustained efforts on the front. And yeah, I ended up doing probably like the last almost kilometer on the front with like all these people behind me. Come down to like last 100 meters and obviously I'm absolutely gassed because I think I was sitting on like, I think I was trying to sit on 420 for the last bit while I came into the finish, and then everyone just kind of came around me and we missed the front of the race by 25 seconds. So, you know, if we'd had maybe 1 or 2 more guys helping pull, we definitely would have caught the front. But obviously I'm pretty happy. You can't complain about, obviously I want my power to be as high as possible, but you have to like take these little monuments as they come, and then hopefully in a few more weeks I can get another better 20-minute and 10-minute and stuff like that. But you know, but yeah, while it's on the training peaks at the moment, you've got that little medal thing. You've got to actually take that on board and like pat yourself on the back and actually say, yeah, training's coming along well. And I've also just done my registration for Dairylands in America, so I'm fully registered for that. So I'm going to be heading to Chicago in June. The race is from the 14th of June to the 24th of June. So no, there's like 10 days of crit racing that we're going to be doing there. So I fly into Boston on the 19th of May. I'm there for 2.5 weeks. Then to Chicago, then back to Boston, and then the rest of it is going to be a little bit of a secret for now. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers. Cheers, guys.